100% mortgages are officially back in fashion. We haven't seen these since just before the 2008 financial crisis. What could go wrong? So, if you haven't been watching the news, Skipton Building Society have just announced a brand new, first of its kind since 2008. 100% mortgage. Yep, that quite literally means you don't have to put down a single penny towards that deposit. With house prices more unaffordable than ever at over 8.5 times the average salary. Could this be the amazing news that finally launches tens of thousands of first-time buyers onto the property ladder? Or is this just another gimmick that you should be avoiding like the plague? Well, in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at this product in detail to try and give you the answer to that question in about 10 minutes or less. I do need to go out in like 15 minutes though, so I will be quicker than that. Let's start with the details of what actually is this 100% mortgage, who's it for, and how it works. As assumed, this product is aimed at renters who are struggling to build that deposit to try and push them onto the property ladder. Although, if you have some money, but less than 5%, you can also apply. The strict rules mean that you have to be a first-time buyer, you must be at least 21 years old, you must have been renting for 12 consecutive months within the past 18, as well as up to date on all of those rental payments. You must be up to date with your bills as well for 12 consecutive months out of the past 18, and you can't have missed a single repayment in the past 6 months. We're talking things like Netflix or your phone bill. Okay, so you're probably thinking to yourself, great, I qualify for this, but what's the catch? And you would be right to think that, because there is indeed a catch. To start, you can't use this on a new build flat. And on top of that, you can only borrow up to a maximum of £600,000. And those are just a few of the conditions that Skipton apply to their 100% mortgage product. The most interesting part is actually how they're going to calculate how much you could potentially borrow. See, you can only take as much as you pay in rent each month, meaning if you pay £1,000 a month in rent, your repayment can only be up to £1,000 each month. So taking that £1,000 a month, for example, on a 35-year mortgage, you could only borrow up to £186,000, which with current house prices might not be enough. This is a completely new way of calculating how much you can afford to borrow, compared to that more traditional way of just taking a multiple of whatever your salary is. By the way, they will also consider this more traditional way of calculating your mortgage by taking a maximum of 4.5 times your annual salary. And between what you're paying for rent each month and how much you earn, they will take the lower of those two amounts. Let's say that means you're someone who's paying quite a low rent. I don't know, you might have a good deal from a friend or family, or perhaps you're in a house share. If you've also got a considerably high wage, this product won't let you borrow as much as you potentially could had you raised the deposit. Enough of the details, let's actually dive into some of the responses to this product since it was announced. Now, since it was announced, comparisons to the 2008 financial crash have been thrown around by quite a lot of people. And to be fair, you'd be right to do this because that was the last time we saw products like this exist. But if I'm being honest, I just don't see the comparison as being that relevant. For starters, in 2008, we were seeing some mortgage lenders go up to an 125% rate. But the mood today shows that most mortgage lenders aren't gonna be quick to try and copy this 100% rate, let alone try and overtake it. Secondly, the stringent rules that are coming along with this product show that this is very much not for everybody. In fact, it seems to be only for those who could be considered very reliable. But even if you are one of the small percent of people that would qualify for this loan, should you even consider getting it? Let's take a look at the maths. This mortgage requires a 5-year fixed rate at 5.49%. When you consider that to the best rate for a 5% down deposit on the market, which is 4.6%, that is a massive difference. I mean, it's so big that you should seriously think about trying to build that 5% deposit before going for a product like this. But if you're unsure, let's throw some numbers at it. Take a £300,000 mortgage, for example. On Skipton's 100% deal, you'll be looking at repayments of £1,701 a month. With just a 5% deposit, you're lowering your payments to £1,295 per month. That is a £406 difference. And if we extend that difference over 5 years, that's £24,360, which, yes, is lower than the £30,000 deposit that you would have had to put together in the first place, but at least that 30K was going towards the actual value of your property, not just repayment towards that interest. And the other mathematical approach you need to take is to actually consider what quality of property you might be able to buy with this Skipton 100% product. For example, right now in London, £2,000 a month will probably get you quite a high quality 2-bed apartment. If you wanted to convert that £2,000 month repayment into a Skipton mortgage, that would allow you to buy property up to £373,000. The average price for a flat in London right now is £400,000. £443,000. And what that means is if you are going to switch from renting to buying, you're going to have to considerably downgrade the quality or location of where you're living. And yes, I know I'm talking about London, which is where I live and where my own experiences are, so there will definitely be some areas where this isn't the case. But it's something that you need to look into before you even consider taking this product. Despite everything I've just mentioned, I haven't even got onto one of the biggest risks with an 100% mortgage, and that is negative equity. This is the concept where the value of your mortgage actually goes above the value of your property, and that can happen when property prices start to drop considerably. Let's say you're on a 90% mortgage product with a 10% deposit. House prices would need to drop by 10% before you fell into this negative equity bubble. With 100% mortgages, this is clearly quite a lot less. Plenty of predictions right now see UK property prices falling up to 10% over the next 2 years, meaning this could become a serious problem you need to contend with. If you're looking to sell, you would probably struggle quite a lot, and if you're looking to remortgage, that also might no longer be an option for you. But enough of the doom and gloom. What are the positives when it comes to this deal? Well, this is clearly a very niche product for the responsible renter who has been struggling to build that deposit for such a long period of time and is desperate to get onto that property ladder. And with these stringent rules, Skipton are trying to be as safe and secure as possible when lending this money. Yes, you might have to considerably lower your quality of living, but if you've been renting for such a long time and you're just desperate to buy, you might be willing to make this sacrifice. As Skipton's chief executive said, "We're developing a mortgage product to enable people trapped in rental cycles to access the property ladder and make a home. And even if this product is only for a handful of people, that still has to be a good thing, right?" So what are my opinions on this matter overall? Whilst I always applaud more options for first-time buyers because this market is tough as hell, I would tell anyone considering this option to just approach it with some caution. Listen, 100% mortgages have a nice ring to it. I will be the first to admit that. But to a lot of first-time buyers, this is not going to offer you any value whatsoever. Could trying to build that 5% deposit to get a lower interest rate be the smarter choice for you? Or are you not even sure where you want to live, so buying a property makes no sense? Listen, I'm of the opinion that renting should no longer be considered throwing money down the drain. The same way that buying a house should no longer be the American or the English dream. I should close by saying that I know opinions on this matter are going to range. I can only speak from my personal experience. And if you do have any other opinions, I would love to hear from you in the comments. And for the rest of you, please subscribe to the channel, drop it a like, and I will catch you next week with the next video. Happy house hunting.